morning, everyone. My name is DeAndre Thompson, and on behalf of the Journey Towards Inclusive Excellence Committee, I'd like to introduce to some and reintroduce to others our committee. The Journey Towards Inclusive Excellence Committee has a mission to be intentional to foster equity, diversity, and inclusion by creating educational opportunities, raising awareness, and providing strategies to bring life the vision of inclusive excellence in our community. We have a vision to bring Boone County, Missouri together as a model for inclusive excellence. And now I'll turn the podium over to Nikki Carter.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to share a little bit of history on how we came to be. In early 2017, the Boone County Children's Services Board hosted several professional development events that offered continuing education credits for local providers. The first event in the Old Country Club was packed, and I'm sure it produced more than what Boone County leadership saw coming. From that event, with Yale professor Walter Gillum presenting his research findings on implicit bias beginning in early childhood education, the community became fired up, and they started to ask the right questions. Soon after that session, I got a call from then director Kelly Wallace. Kelly was reviewing the feedback from that session and shared that the community wanted more, but the DEI work was going to require some collaboration. She and I worked together to bring a group of representatives across many organizations to work on a follow-up event that summer. With that event, we went on to address the local data on disparities and strategies to address implicit bias. But even after that impactful session, focusing on what was going on in our own backyard, the feedback pointed to the fact that the community still wanted more. On October 31st, 2017, many of those volunteers who worked on that summer session with local data got together to talk through a vision for deeper work for ourselves and our community. A vision of working together to create experiences to address our humanity first and foremost. And with that, the understanding that since we are humans with brains, none of us are exempt from biases that impact our interactions. At the Columbia Values Diversity Breakfast in 2018, on this very stage, we launched the Journey Toward Inclusive Excellence. We passed out nearly 1,000 passports for those of you who signed up to travel along the journey toward a more inclusive community with us. We shared our vision of working together to confront our biases and develop an understanding of how we have been socialized. We invited you to participate in experiences, not one-time events, but experiences that have the potential to be transformative. Experiences that would challenge us to really reflect on what we think we know about other humans without the courtesy of a conversation. We continued the journey the following year and even remixed some experiences to go virtual with the rest of the world in 2020. We stand before you today with another reminder that the journey must continue, but it must continue with intention. This work is not seasonal, it is not a trend, and it should never be performative, because the lives of our most vulnerable depend on us to commit, to do it right, and never prioritize our comfort. For those reasons, this group of volunteers for almost 6 years now continues to work together to create and promote experiences for change along this journey toward inclusive excellence. We ask you to join us in remaining hopeful. Remain hopeful and look toward the vision of what a truly inclusive community looks like. Stay encouraged while we continue to find our allies, advocates, and co-conspirators amongst each other. And remind ourselves today and every day that we are human first.
Thank you, Nikki. My name is Lauren Williams. I'm with the Daniel Boone Regional Library, and I want to tell you that one way you can continue with us on this journey is to seek out more experiences and events in our community that provide opportunities for us to understand issues around bias and discrimination. And you can find out about these events on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/inclusivejourney. And if you, in your organizations, have events related to diversity, equity, inclusion, or belonging, please share those with us via that page so we can promote them as well. I want to mention just a couple of future events our Journey committee members are planning, and please watch our Facebook page and our website for more information and save the dates. The University School of Medicine will be sponsoring some events that are part of the Black Men in White Coats initiative, which seeks to increase the number of Black men in the field of medicine. And there will be screenings of the documentary film of that same name, Black Men in White Coats, on Saturday, February 11th, and Sunday, February 12th, at 11:45 a.m. each day at Ragtag Cinema. And then there will be a youth summit on April 29th that includes panel discussions, hands-on workshops, and mentorship opportunities. Then on July 15th, the Daniel Boone Regional Library will be hosting a human library. At this interactive event, individuals with a variety of experiences around disability, health, race, gender, identity, and more will act as human books. Attendees are invited to unjudge someone through small group conversations with different books with titles like Immigrant, Muslim, Veteran, Transgender, Bipolar, and more. A human library event creates a space for personal conversations that can help challenge prejudice and let people speak openly about difficult topics. And speaking of transformative, those experiences are transformative. So again, that's July 15th. And then finally, we invite you to save the date for our State of Inclusivity Conference, Thursday, August 10th. This conference is held at Columbia College and online. The hybrid event will bring together people from many disciplines for presentations that provide participants with diversity, equity, and inclusion strategies and resources for personal implementation and ideas for making changes throughout our organizations. On your tables, you can find our Save the Date postcards. Please take one with you today.
If I could invite the mayor up on stage for the reading of the principles. As Nikki stated, when we started, these principles of community were an agreement and commitment to equity. If your organization has adopted these, it may be a recommitment to these while you're making decisions with these principles. If you haven't adopted these yet, this may be the time to step into this forward progress. We're going to read these principles aloud. They're on the screens, but we invite you to read along with us. We are a community of diverse individuals possessing a variety of perspectives, identities, and lived experiences. We recognize that to create an inclusive and intellectually vibrant community, we must understand and value both our individual differences and collective similarities. The principles of community are aspirational statements that embody this commitment and reflect the ideals we seek to uphold. We affirm the inherent dignity and value of every person and strive to maintain a climate for work and learning based on mutual respect and understanding.
She's just excited. We affirm the right of each person to express thoughts and opinions freely. We encourage open expression within a climate of civility, sensitivity, and mutual respect.
We affirm the value of human diversity because it enriches our lives and our organizations. We acknowledge and respect our differences while affirming our common humanity.
We reject all forms of prejudice and discrimination, including those based on age, color, diverse ability, gender, gender identity, gender expression, national origin, political affiliation, race, religion, sexual orientation, and veteran status. We take individual and collective responsibility for helping to eliminate bias and discrimination, and for increasing our own understanding of these issues through education, training, and interaction with others.
We pledge our collective commitment to incorporate these principles into the City of Columbia mission. Thank you. Yes. All right. Thank you all. Well, good morning. It is a good morning to be here. It's cold out there and warm in here. I'm happy this morning to be here, to have heard beautiful music during our breakfast, to get goosebumps from Roshara Knight singing our, what did she sing? She sang. Thank you, Brandon, Star Spangled Banner. I loved the moments of reflection from our faith community, the teachings from our Columbia youth, and listening to us reaffirming our principles of community through the journey of excellence. One of the reasons why Columbia is often recognized is because of one of the nation's best cities, is because we do the work. We value and we recognize diversity and inclusion in our community. In November of 22, the City of Columbia earned a perfect score of 100 on the Human Rights Campaign Municipal Equality Index for the 6th year in a row. Yeah. And as just stated, through the Journey Toward Inclusive Excellence presentation, we adopted our principles community that reflect the ideals that we seek to embody and our commitment to creating a community that is inclusive to all its citizens, having differing perspectives, identities, and lived experiences. We feel that work is done to uphold the principles reflected in the teachings of Dr. King. Now I am honored to present the 26th Annual Columbia Values Diversity Awards. This program began in 1998 to honor individuals and groups in our community whose work exemplifies the life and teachings of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The late Gertrude Marshall Marble was the inspiration for the award. Gertrude spent her adult life in Columbia and gave so much back to the community. Her service included co-founding the Voluntary Action Committee, which we now know as the Voluntary Action Center, volunteering for a substance abuse recovery shelter, and being a lifelong member of the League of Women Voters. She is active in the faith community, directing a children's choir program and being a founding member of the Columbia Friends Meeting. Gertrude was instrumental in establishing the Peace Studies program at the University of Missouri. And there are more contributions than I could list, and her life is the example of the types of people who have helped shape Columbia to be a better place. Gertrude Marshall Marble passed away in 1997, and it was the next year that we presented the first diversity awards. We've recognized many over the past 26 years. Each individual and group has made valuable contributions as we continue to grow to be a more inclusive city. I would ask now, if you are a past winner of a diversity award, please stand if you are able, and for those of us, show our appreciation for those who have worked on this journey. It's amazing that we have so many people in our community doing this type of work, and we know we're never done. It is a journey. We are moving forward together. Individuals like this year's nominees serve as an inspiration to all, saying things like better together and weaker apart. A panel of judges selected by the Event Planning Committee is charged with choosing the award winners. This year's judges include Eric Hempel, Sarah Hum, Jean Snodgrass, and Kari Utterback. The panel considers how the nominees' work in our community embodies the life of Dr. King in fostering individual dignity, racial equality, understanding, peacemaking, and problem solving through nonviolence. This year's selected recipients have promoted an appreciation for diversity and cultural understanding in our community. Columbia has many people who work to create a more equitable opportunity, and so choosing among so many deserving candidates is a difficult job. It is with great pleasure that I now present the 2023 Columbia Values Diversity Awards, beginning with the individual award. While I'm speaking, will Dr. Lester Woods Jr. please come forward? Dr. Lester Woods Jr. is a senior pastor of Urban Empowerment Ministries here in Columbia. He also serves as the chief administrator. You can keep walking. Oh, no, hug your wife. Hi, Christine. He also serves as the chief administrative officer for the Missouri Department of Transportation. His commitment to the Columbia community spans more than 2 decades through ministry and community engagement. And his most recent initiative, the Source Summit Global, has proven to be a catalyst for addressing the social and economic disparities faced by our community's most vulnerable populations. Dr. Woods has been a conveyor of unity between local ministries of color and predominantly white churches while advocating for social justice concerns in our community. Through acts of public service, Dr. Woods has walked the streets of Columbia, praying for peace and nonviolence. He's used his influence to break down barriers and bring people from different walks of life together. Dr. Woods has committed himself and his work to helping the disadvantaged find opportunities for better living, employment, and more. And the list could go on and on, reflecting his alignment with the teachings of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So please join me in recognizing Dr. Lester Woods. All right. I wanted you to talk some more, but I guess they said no. Let's give him another round of applause. Now for the group award. This group has shown us how the arts have the power to educate, connect, and empower our city's youth. They have demonstrated that there is importance in bridging the gaps that underrepresented students face in our community. This year's group goes to Jabberwocky Studios. Would Linda Schust please come forward and accept the award along with anyone else from Jabberwocky? Jabberwocky Studios opened its doors in January 2015 with the goal of using art to enhance equity and inclusion in our community. Through hip hop and breakdancing, mural painting, and other art forms, students learn new skills, meet new friends and mentors, and explore the arts. Jabberwocky Studios seeks to find ways to help youth reach their full potential in school, work, and life. Research shows that increases in arts educational experiences in dance, music, and visual arts improve students' academic, social, and emotional outcomes while increasing empathy. Jabberwocky is a constant source of energy and vibrancy and offers opportunities for diverse families and groups to create art and dance in its studios. They also weave science, technology, engineering, and arts and math, better known as STEAM, into its programs. Funding and sponsorships through the Heart of Missouri United Way ensure that transportation to their Saturday STEAM program is included for all students, along with breakfast and lunch. Additionally, Jabberwocky has teamed up with the Columbia Art League to support the Art Bus program, which visits underserved neighborhoods and a rotating roster of diverse artists to provide free art projects on Wednesdays and Saturdays from April through October. Other programs have taken place out in the community, for example, the annual Africa Fest that brings together a diverse representation of art, dance, live drumming, culinary arts, and serves as an event for the community to learn and share cultural heritage. Jabberwocky Studios has been responsible for a number of murals that have gone up in the central city, creating opportunities for inspiration and reflection for the neighborhood residents to enjoy. Jabberwocky Studios has established itself as a vital resource and plans to continue to provide life-enriching programs to future generations. Their perseverance toward building an inclusive community reflects the life and teachings of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. And if you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward." Please join me in recognizing Jabberwocky Studios.